Thank you for this introduction. Thank you to the organizer for this amazing conference, and thanks to all of you to be here. So maybe, as you guessed by the name of this presentation, who lets it up and intent out. So today we will talk about app intents and dogs. So my name is Sivadier. I'm from Nantes, and it doesn't rain all time. That's not true. And in fact, I switched my career a few times before to become an iOS developer. Wished I have done that during the COVID. What a fun time to switch the career. This year, I also joined the organization of the Cocoa Head and Mobilis Immobiles, which is a mobile conference in Nantes. And yeah, my first passion is about dogs. So let me introduce you my doggies. Here it's Habanera. She is a Labrador, and she is 14 years old now. And in April, we welcomed Alfie, this little tornado, which now is not that little because he's 8 months. So yeah, he's 8 months in these pictures. And in fact, it's because of him that I get the opportunity to go inside the topic of app entity, intent, sorry, that is another one, app intents, because when you welcome a puppy, in your home, he have to learn everything. He don't have his license for doing something, so he have to learn. And the best way is to go outside every day, so he can learn how it's going outside your home. This also help to build some confidence, and he will know how it's going on, so he can learn how to interact with other dogs and humans. But yeah, you have something that I needed to track, to keep an eye on. It's the duration, because it's a puppy. You have to go with baby steps, or may I say, puppy steps. But so yeah, you have to go little by little, because yeah, he have to learn everything, and so it's why I needed to know, to keep an eye on the duration. And yeah, I wanted also to know how was going the station in general, so I made a little notation of that. And the other request that I have is to be hands-free when I am in the street with Ralphie, because yeah, the street is dangerous. I don't want him to be hit by a car, or I don't want him to be jumping on people. So it's why I comes up with this application, which is called Pet Tickle. It's a chronicle of a pet. And it's an application where you do almost nothing inside, because the beauty is outside with your dog. So this is the main functionality that I really needed. It's when you go outside with your dog, you will start your walk, and an activity will start automatically. And when you are in halfway, you will get a notification that will tell you you need to go back to your home. So when you go back to your home, your puppy is not exhausted, so this is good. We don't want your puppy to be exhausted. And when we arrive to the home, the activity will be saved. So this is the main functionality. Alongside rating the walk, you can for sure see it, review it, modify it, and delete it. And all of these functionality are done with app intent. So to declare your app intent, it's just a struct that you apply the protocol app intent, and some information will be asked as the title, the description, and you will have also a perform function. So just by doing your declaration of your app intent, it will be already available on the shortcut application. You don't have to declare this file or this struct in other way, like in app delegate or something like that. Just this declaration, and it's available directly. Oh, sorry. So this is an example of the start walk intent. So as you can see the title, a description, which have to be very descriptive because it will allow your user to understand what is going on with this app intent, and also the system will know more about the context. And to get the notification, I need to give the information of the goal time. So it's why I use a parameter which receives an integer. So when you go to your shortcut application and you want to initialize it, you will be able to directly register preset the goal, or if otherwise the system will ask you for this goal, because otherwise it won't be performing. And for the parameter, it can be a primitive types, so like a string, integer, a boolean, etc. And you can also make your custom one using app entity and app enum. And for the stop work entity, what I needed is to have a kind of notifications that told me that the activity was well registered. So it's why for the intent result, I changed it for providing dialogue. In this way, you can return the exact output you want to display to the user. So, and in this way, on the shortcut application part, the user will be able to toggle on show when run, and in this way, he will receive this kind of dialogue. So yeah, I have my main two app intent, sorry, again. So I choose to trigger it depending of the Wi-Fi condition. So when I'm disconnected, I start the activity, and when I come back to my home, I reconnected, so I stop the activity. On the automatization, you have so many ways to do it, but on this case, you can also trigger it depending of your position, but you have a radius of 100 meters, which is huge when you have a puppy of 2 months. And in my case, it was not cool because I have just a street that come behind my home, so I re-enter to the perimeter. So yeah, it was not useful for me. So yeah, when you go outside, you come back. Yes, you have your first work register. Congratulations. When you open the application, you will have a list with all your entry and with 3 information: the date, the duration, and a little icon. This icon is what I will use to have an overview of the quality of the work. So you have 4 cases. The default one, it's okay, it's a moon because yeah, nothing to tell. You have a sun, you can use it to say yeah, it was good. But when he was wonderful, you can also say it because I am a positive person, so I like to know what he was going very well. And for the opposite side, you have the storm one, and the one that I don't want to see, or a few times in the row. And this is very useful because in the case I see there are a few which was not going well. This means I need to change something in the routine of my dog's walk. So yeah, now we need to update it. And for that, we will need a new app intent, which will accept 2 parameters. The one for the dog walk entity, which is an amp entity, so it will be the reference of the walk that I need to change. And with the new value, it will be the walk quality. And it's an app enum. So this is a declaration into this new app entity, which is update walk quality intent. And yeah. So when you go back to the shortcut application, you will see these 2 other parameters available. So here we come back to the application, you see the moon. And so to change it, you can go to the shortcut application. You can tap directly the name of your application, and you will see the list of all the app intent available. And you can also get more information by tapping on the E for information. And so you will give a little bit more context on what is going on with your app intent. So we'll select it. sorry. So we are selecting it. And so by playing it, the system will ask you for some information. So here we have one walk, so we are not confused. And so you can change for the quality of your walk. And when you go back to your application, yeah, you can see the rainbow. It was wonderful. But what's happened when you have a lot of walk, in fact, registered? It can be a little bit messy to display all these options. So it's why on your app entity, you have to declare a default query. And with this default query, you have another function, which is suggest entities. And so you can display the right information depending of the context. And for me, it was just to display the 5 latest work, because in fact, I don't remember what's happened the week before, so I don't need to modify, because I won't remember. So the 5 latest was fine for me. And so it will be displayed like that. And also, as advised, because your dialogue is kind of small, you don't want to show a lot of information, because otherwise you will have a scroll view inside this little view, and which is not practical for your user. So you have to control your data. And yeah, but so this is not that automatic. So we can do something like smoother. So what if we can fetch the last work? For an intent to another, no glue needed, just another app intent. And for the result value, for the intent result, it will be it will return a value. So this is a declaration of get last activity. And so yeah, on the return of the perform function, you can see return value, and so you can return what value you want. So this is very practical. So here we are back on the shortcut application, where I set the get last activity and pass it to another app intent, and which will consume it. And so on, you can chain app intent by app intent. But it's not also just for your app intent. The other app intent available can access also to this information. So here, I just wanted to show the work, but the user will be also, he can also choose other value to use it directly. So this is cool, but it can be even cooler. And for that, we will use app shortcuts and app shortcut provider. By declaring app shortcut provider, you will see on the shortcut application a section containing your name of your application, and by selecting it, you will be able to find a kind of catalog or what is possible or all your app shortcut. And also in this section, the user will also find the shortcut that he made with your app intent. And for doing that, you allow your user to reach your action. So it's more visible, and this is an example when you search the name of your application directly from the Spotlight. So yeah, the app shortcut is in fact an array of app shortcuts which contain an app intent, phrases, and short title, and system image, sorry. And so this is the declaration of my start dog work intent, where you can find several phrases. And the phrases need to include the name of your application, otherwise it's not building, it's not compiling. And we'll look a little bit more into phrases. So this is where happens the magic, because you can use it to trigger some of your app intent via Siri requests. So now you can talk to Siri, but you can also write to Siri, thanks to Apple Intelligence. And yeah, you can set several phrases, but you must use a lot of synonyms. So this will give a lot of context to the system, and so your user will be able to use other words than the one you set on the phrases. It can be localized, but just be careful, the name of your file must be called app shortcut, otherwise it is not triggered. So here is an example. I will show you that I am interacting with Siri by writing. So here can start the conversation. I want to start the activity. And by doing that, because there are a parameter, Siri will ask me for this parameter. And so I will give the goal in minutes. And by responding it, the activity will be start, like that. So these phrases also can include some parameter as app entity and app enum, so you can make the things smoother, and you can include directly into your phrases. And in this case, I create a new app enum, which is a date selection, which contains two cases, today or yesterday. And by initiate a display representation, you are allowed to make a title, so it will be by this word you are referring to this case. So in my case, it's today or yesterday. And you can also apply a different image depending of the case. So here so this is sorry. So yes, this is kind of so when you have done the implementation with the parameter inside your sentence, you will see a new section on the application part, on the shortcut application, with your two non-cases. And so you will have the general, the parent app intent, with the other choice with today and yesterday. So yeah, this can make feel the flow more natural, but we are going to update the update work quality with this new parameter, which is date selection. But in this way, the system will ask for each parameter. But so you can make them optional, but in this way, the system will ask for no information, so it won't work. But you can trigger the information that you want, depending of the time of your application, of the context. And in my case, if the user say, yeah, modify a work quality, so we don't have any information, so I will just request for the value. So we will display the 5 suggested, the 5 last one suggested. And in the case you have done more than one work, yesterday, for example, we can display just the work of the day asked by request disambiguation. So here is how it's working. So first I will tap on the first update quality. So we display everything. As you can see, you have 2 days. The days I have recorded this view, it was the 28th. And so yesterday is 27. And so the user can select, just like before. And yeah, then it's an example of today. So for the today, you will have just one entry. So he don't need to ask you for some information. But for yesterday, as you saw, they have some value. So it will display just the work for the day asked. And that's it. Yeah, I think we reach the moment where I have a very serious question to ask you. For this talk, have you seen enough picture of dogs? No? Yeah, I made a little bit Italian. Niente affatto. I don't know if you say that like that, but yeah. But let's fix it, because I have a new app intent for you, which is called Show Dogs Intent. And yeah, so with this action, I will be able to show you some picture of dogs. Let's show. Oh, it's cute, but it's not a dog. I like cats, but I prefer dogs, in fact. So let's see. It's written like you don't have any dogs registered yet. So this means we can register dogs, but how to do it? So we will see in the shortcut applications, so on the list of the app intent, what we have. We have find dogs. We have remove dogs. That's bad. And we can show dogs information, but we cannot see a way to register a dog. So we will search a little bit more inside the application or the iPhone in general. We'll check the control center. What's happened over there? We have nothing, so we'll check the possibility. Here we have something into pet tickle section. We have, what is it? A show secret. Oh, nice. But yeah, we didn't see. So that's nice because this means because all my applications are almost done just with app intent, and so the show secret just is an app intent. So that is nice. So you can apply directly an app intent into your control widget. So this is a way. But why we didn't see it in the shortcut application? I will tell you why. Because of this parameter, in app intent, you have several parameters that can allow you to manage a little bit the behavior of your app intent. And in this case, with is discoverable, which is set to true at default, by default, but by setting it at false, your user won't be able to perform it in so many ways, in fact, because you won't be able to apply it in app shortcut intent. He won't be able to find it in the shortcut application, but you can use it, and you can apply so to the control widget. So that's nice. Let's see what it's doing. So, oh, this is a new behavior that we didn't see it before. We are on the application. In fact, apparently we can add some dogs. But how we do that? I will tell you more. This is because you have other parameters. So you can use, before iOS 26, you can use open when runs. By setting it to true, it will invoke your application. And since iOS 26, you have improved method with supported method. So you can say directly it will foreground, background, both also. And you can make a kind of timing, so it will be able to launch directly your application, or see if you need some processing before showing your application, you can defer it, or let it dynamic, and the system will be know what to do with that. But you have something better for that, another app intent which is called open intent. So that's no, you don't have to deal with this kind of parameter. So yeah. We will register a little dog, so I will register, in this case, Habanera, so she is a lot of here. And we will select her beautiful picture. And like that. So here we go back to the shortcut application, and you see a new section with her little face. So in the same case as that selection, now they know a new possibility for performing show dogs, and so it's displayed. So in the same way, I put the dog parameter in the phrase, and so you need now to tell the system that you have a new parameter, and for that you have an update app shortcut parameter. So in this way, you can update your app shortcut. And you can also, it's displayed depending on your user action. So that can be cool, and in the best way I found is with Apple Music that display your recent played. So I like this one. But yeah, by telling the system, you are also allowed to find some information via Spotlight. And yeah, via Siri, you can also ask directly with the name of your object. And so me is not an object, it's my dog, but the name with your dog. In this case, directly triggers this app intent. So yeah, we see a lot of things, but we don't have time to talk about everything. Like resolver donate allow you to tell the system that it will be the good time to suggest another app intent. So open intent, we mentioned it a little bit. You have assistant. For assistant, you can use it to help you to declare your app entity, app intent, and app enum. So depending to the domain, and each year there are new domains supported. So maybe it can help you to implement it. You can also request confirmation. You have open intents, which is different than open intents, because open intent, it's an app intent, and open intent, it's a result, intent result. So this allows you to, depending of the context, but to perform inside or at the end of your app intent to perform another app intent. So you can change them like that. And yeah, and so on. We talk about not all. So it's why there are so many one more things. So yeah, each year you have a new opportunity available. Like this year, they are available in Swift packages. That can be performed also in Spotlight on macOS. And yeah, this year they bring the power of Apple Intelligence into Shortcut, so much more opportunities. And you have new app intent comes regularly. And this year it's snippet intent, which allow you to display a Swift UI view, but you can also display a button which will call other app intent. So in this way you can update the context of your dialogue, and yeah, it gives you other opportunity, and so you can do many things inside. Yeah, so I think we should all embrace app intent, because I think it's a small effort, but for a huge impact. It allows you so to expose the core action to Siri, Spotlight, Shortcut, and widget. And it's also allow you to reach your user in different ways than boring them with a notification. And they will get maybe curious about your application also. It's also deeply integrated into the system without UI complex, and you can not use extension. And this, for the people who already deal with extension, is very nice to know that we don't have to deal with it for app intent. And yeah, you can also use it to improve your accessibility, and yeah, by doing some automatization or allowing some authorization, it will be a new option to your user, so that can be cool. And for us, it's kind of easy to maintain because it's 100% native Swift. I have to press this. And is integrated with Apple Intelligence, so normally it will be able to prompt or suggest some of your app intent depending of your context and your user usage. So yeah, I have some takeaways to give to you. Maybe you should start small. Things with in action, short action, because in fact is not used to process a lot of data or something like that. It should be quick. Use natural language when you are putting some description, because more you give context to your user, it's also more context for the system. You can also handle errors, so that can be nice because, for example, on the provide dialogue, when you are using Siri, you can also provide a dialogue for a specific error. So Siri will be able to speak out loud what's happened with this error. So it's a nice way to talk and to talk to your user. And yeah, you should model your data using app entity and using entity query, so you can give more possibilities to your user, and for you it will be nice. So yeah, we are reaching the end of this talk. So last picture of my dogs, and for the cat lover, I have one picture for you. Her name is Tara, and yeah. Here it's a QR code about my MVP. M is for more messy project, in fact. But yeah, you can see some example and maybe you can play with that. So yeah, feel free to use it. And yeah. So that's it.
All right, thank you very much. Also, thank you for the messy, valuable project or whatever it is. Like, let's go for questions.
Merci pour la présentation.
Ooh.
I've got a question about the localization. So, first one, how do you add additional questions when you set the queries that can trigger the app intent? And another question, if you use Siri, for example, and let's say Siri is set to Italian, but your app does not support that language, and what happens then?
This will be with the default one, so you will. In fact, I didn't. I didn't test this case, which is a good one to. I will do it. What was your first question?
How to localize the queries that can start your app intent? Like how much do something in app name?
This is very easy because so for these phrases you have to make a specific file with the name app shortcut, and with that the system will know where to trigger your localization. Yeah.
Merci.
De rien.
All right, do we have more questions? Yeah, Arkadiusz has a question.
The one I
It's
want.
like every time you have a question, people are afraid of the question. Like,
No.
oh, it's going to be too technical, right?
Hello. Thank you for the presentation. I'd like to ask about something that's a problem with WidgetKit and also a little bit with app intents, but I couldn't find any information about it. So what's the memory constraint of shortcuts app intents? Because as far as I know, the WidgetKit has some arbitrary limit of memory when the app exceeds that memory usage, like of, I think it's more or less 30 megabytes, some more, some less. But what, do you know anything, or do you know any information do you know any place where I could get the information about what's the limit for shortcuts?
I don't have. I am so sorry.
Okay. I think they didn't mention it anywhere. At least I didn't find it, so it's okay. I just asked because maybe you know.
I will search, and if I find, I will send to you. I
Okay.
know.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to you.
If there is a question, I have to shout because I'm very far away from the microphone. All right, I'm back at the microphone. Any question? Because I was preparing something. All right. Other than that, let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you.